Well, today's topic is ionic bond. Before going to ionic bond, let us go back to our last topic where we had a general idea of chemical bond. Chemical bond, as you know, is a force that binds atoms to form compounds or molecules. There are so many types of bonds. Today we shall be taking a special class of bond, that is ionic bond. As the term suggests that this bond is formed between ions, that is why this bond is known as ionic bond. We have another name for this bond, that is electrovalent bond. This bond is also known as electrovalent bond. As we know, a bond is formed only when an atom of an element acquires stable electronic configuration. Now, in this bond, we have to find that how an element should acquire electronic configuration so that ions are formed. Now, as we know, we have two types of ions, positively charged ions called cations and negatively charged ions called anions. Now, for the formation of cation, we need some atoms of elements which should lose electrons. Now, how many electrons can be lost? An atom can lose 1, 2 or 3 electrons depending upon number of valence electrons present in it. Now, as far as the elements of first group of the periodic table, known as those elements are known as alkali metals. All those elements, that is elements of group 1, they have 1 valence electron each. So your first group elements, group number 1 elements, they can lose 1 electron. The elements of group number 2, they can lose 2 electrons because they have 2 valence electrons. And group number 13, not group number 3, group number 13, 1, 2, and then we jump to group number 13. Those elements have 3 valence electrons. So they have the ability to lose 3 electrons to acquire stable electronic configuration of nearest noble gas. So in the formation of cation, these elements, that is elements of group 1, elements of group 2 and elements of group 13, they can lose electron. For example, if we take group number 1, in group number 1 of the periodic table we have sodium. We know electronic configuration of sodium is 11 and its electronic configuration is 281. So how many valence electron it has? It has 1 valence electron. Suppose if it loses this 1 electron and becomes sodium ion. So what will be the electronic configuration of sodium ion? 28. 28 means neon, which is a noble gas. So it acquires the electronic configuration of nearest noble gas. Similarly, if I take potassium in the same group, that is in group number 1, atomic number 19, 2881 is its electronic configuration. It will again lose its valence electron to become potassium ion. Its electronic configuration will be 288 because 1 electron has been lost. It acquires the electronic configuration of argon having atomic number 18. 2 plus 8, 10, 10 plus 8, 18. So this is how these elements, the elements of group 1, they lose 1 electron to form cations. Similarly, elements of group 2, if we take elements of group 2, for example, magnesium. Magnesium is present in group number 2. Its electronic configuration is 282 because its atomic number is 12. So how many valence electron it has? It has 2 valence electron. So it has the ability to lose these valence electrons. It loses these 2 electrons and becomes what? It becomes magnesium ion, having electronic configuration 2,8. Again neon, which has atomic number 10. That is nearest noble gas. Similarly, if I take some other element of this group, of the same group, that is second group, say calcium, atomic number 20, 2882. So it has again ability of losing its 2 valence electrons to form calcium 2 positive, having electronic configuration 288. That is, it has again become argon, having atomic number 18. So these are elements of group 1 forming divalent, group 1 forming monovalent cations. Elements of group 2, they form divalent cations. And let us move to group number 13 now. Group number 13, for example, aluminium is an element of group number 13. Its atomic number is 13 and its electronic configuration is 283. How many valence electrons? 3. It can lose these 3 electrons so that it acquires the electronic configuration of nearest noble gas. It has become aluminium 3 positive and its electronic configuration is 2,8. That is, it is neon, atomic number 10. 2 plus 8, 10. So what we find, that elements of group 1, elements of group 2 and elements of group 13, they can lose 1, 2 and 3 electrons respectively to form respective cations. This is all about cations. Now, since in this bond, in ionic bond, we take into consideration anions also. Now, we have to find which elements can form anions. The elements of group number 15, 16 and 17. These elements, the elements of group 15, group 16 and group 17. Suppose I take an element from group number 17, say fluorine. Fluorine is an element of group number 17. Let us see how it acquires electronic configuration. Its atomic number is 9. Electronic configuration of 2, 7. How many valence electrons? 7 valence electrons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Now we have to see how it will acquire electronic configuration. Whether it should lose electron or gain. It should gain 1 electron. If it gains 1 electron, it becomes fluoride ion, having electronic configuration 2,8. 2,8 is the atomic number of neon, that is nearest noble gas. This is fluoride ion. So what we find, that elements of group 17, they can gain 1 electron to become anion. Similarly, if we take some element from group number 16, say oxygen. Oxygen is an element of group number 16 having atomic number 8. 8. Electronic configuration 2, 6. How many valence electrons? 6. So how many electrons it can gain? It can gain 2 to acquire stable electronic configuration of nearest noble gas. That is, it will become O2 negative, oxide ion, having electronic configuration 2,8, having electronic configuration of nearest noble gas, that is neon. Neon having atomic number 8. Similarly, we can take any element from group number 15. But as far as this group is concerned, the elements of this group can lose how many electrons? They can lose 3 electrons because they will have 5 electrons in the valence shell. For example, nitrogen. I take nitrogen. Nitrogen, atomic number 7, electronic configuration of 5. How many valence electrons? 5. How many electrons are required by it to attain the stable electronic configuration? 3. So it will gain 3 electrons. and it forms nitride ion having electronic configuration up to 8, that is neon. So what we find, that elements of group 1, 2 and 13, they can lose 1, 2 and 3 valence electrons respectively to form cations. And on the other hand, the elements of group number 15, 16 and 17, they can gain 1, 2 and 3 electrons respectively to form anions. So we conclude that ionic bond can be formed between the atoms of these groups. That is, if we take one element from this group, then we shall have to take another element from either of these groups. Now let us take some examples for formation of ionic bond. For example, I take an element from group number 1, say sodium. Then I take an element from group number 17, that is chlorine. Now let us find how ionic bond is formed between sodium and chlorine. Sodium, as you know, has atomic number of 11, electronic configuration up to 8,1. Chlorine, atomic number 17, electronic configuration of 7. This has 1 valence electron. This has 7 valence electrons. Now let us see how they can acquire electronic configuration. 1 electron from sodium, it can transfer to the valence shell of chlorine. Now let us see what we get. This sodium has lost 1 electron, so its electronic configuration will become 2,8 and it will get positively charged, that it becomes cation. On the other hand, your chlorine, it gets 1 electron from sodium and its electronic configuration becomes 288 and gets a negative charge. So your sodium ion is cation and your chloride ion is anion. This cation and anion, they attract each other by strong electrostatic force of attraction, forming sodium chloride. So sodium chloride is an ionic compound. So what is now ionic compound? Ionic compound is that compound which is formed by ionic bond. This is ionic compound. This is one example of ionic bond. Ionic bond and ionic compound. I can take another example. Say magnesium and oxygen. Atomic number 12, 282. Atomic number 8, 26. 2 valence electrons. Here 6 valence electron. How many electrons can be transferred? 2 from valence shell of magnesium to valence shell of oxygen. As a result, we get magnesium 2 positive having electronic configuration 2,8. Oxygen will acquire negative charge having electronic configuration up to 8. So this is cation, this is anion. They will again attract each other and form a compound known as magnesium oxide. So this is another ionic bond, ionic compound. So now what is ionic bond? Ionic bond is electrostatic force of attraction, Coulombic force of attraction that binds, that holds oppositely charged ions. Opposite, that is sodium ion, chloride ion. Here magnesium ion and oxide ion. So we can define ionic bond as a Coulombic force, as an electrostatic force of attraction which holds, which binds these oppositely charged ions, that is cation and anion. We can give so many other examples of ionic bond. So this is all about ionic bond. Now let us move to some factors which can influence the formation of this bond. For example, first factor which influences the formation of ionic bond is low ionization energy. Now, as we know, this is the minimum energy required by an atom to lose its valence electron. So this property will apply to group number 1, 2 and 13 because these elements have to lose electrons. So they should have so those atoms, those elements which have low ionization energy, they can easily form cation. So this is one, low ionization energy is one factor which can influence the formation of ion well. Lower the ionization energy, the higher is the probability of forming cation. So for cation formation, the elements should have low ionization energy. Then those atoms which have to gain electrons, which have to accept these electrons, they should have high electron gain enthalpy. Now what is this enthalpy? Enthalpy means energy. This is the energy released by the atoms of elements so that they can accept electron. So they should have high electron gain enthalpy. Higher the electron gain enthalpy, higher will be the probability of forming anion. So for anion formation, the atoms of elements should have high electron enthalpy. And the third factor that influences the formation of ionic bond is lattice energy. Now what is lattice energy? Lattice energy is energy released. Energy released when 1 mole of a crystalline solid is formed. When 1 mole of crystalline solid is formed by the combination of oppositely charged ions, because as we know, in ionic compound we should have oppositely charged ions, that is cation and anion. So when cations and anions combine to form 1 mole of crystalline solid, at that very moment the energy released by that crystalline solid is known as lattice energy. So lattice energy has a role to play in the formation of ionic bond. So these are the 3 factors which have an impact on the formation of ionic bond. Then, as we know, when ionic bond comes into play, which compounds are formed as a result? Ionic compounds are formed. Now those ionic compounds which are formed through this bond, that is through ionic bond, they have some characteristics. Let us discuss those characteristics one by one. First characteristic is physical state of ionic compound. Physical state of ionic compound. Please remember that ionic compounds are crystalline solids as far as their physical state is concerned. Crystalline solids. For example, your NaCl is a crystalline solid, that is, it is formed of crystals. Your KCl is a crystalline solid. These are crystalline solids. So, as far as physical state of ionic compounds is concerned, they are crystalline solids. Then, since this bond is very strong, since ionic bond is very strong, the melting point and boiling point of ionic compounds is very high. High melting point and boiling point of ionic compounds. Why they have high melting and boiling points? Simple reason that the bond, that is the ionic bond between the cations and the anions is very strong. So in order to break that bond, we require higher energy, higher temperature to melt that, so that bond breaks up and that solid that melts and later on boils. So they have high melting and boiling points. Now coming to electrical conductivity. This is important property of ionic compounds. Electrical conductivity. If these compounds, that is your ionic compounds, if your ionic compounds are in solid state, that is in crystalline state, because we know that ionic compounds are in this state, we just have come to know that they have crystalline solid state. So when they are in this state, in crystalline solid state, they are poor conductors of electricity. They are not good conductors. They are not good conductor, but they are poor conductors of electricity in crystalline state. But But if these compounds, that is your ionic compounds, if they are changed into electrolytes, now how a compound can be changed into electrolyte? By making its aqueous solution or by changing it into molten state. So if we change it into molten state or we make an aqueous solution of that compound, then it becomes good conductor of electricity. So an ionic compound becomes good conductor of electricity if we change it into molten state or in aqueous state. So this is all about electrical conductivity. Coming to its solubility. Solubility means whether it dissolves or not. Ionic compounds, they get dissolved in water quite easily. They are soluble in water, but they are insoluble in organic solvents. They do not dissolve in organic solvents like benzene, alcohol. They are insoluble in these solvents, but very much soluble in water. And finally, coming to last property is ionic reactions. Ionic compounds, they react among themselves. That is, one ionic compound can react with another ionic compound, and such a reaction is known as ionic reaction. So all ionic compounds, they have a general characteristics that they can react among themselves. For example, this is an ionic compound, sodium chloride. We have another ionic compound, silver nitrate. They combine among themselves and forms AgCl, white precipitate of silver chloride, AgCl, and then sodium nitrate, NaNO3. These are white precipitates. So what we conclude from here, that your ionic compounds, they undergo ionic reactions. So it is all for today. Thank you very much.